guys. So today we're moving on through Unit 5, and we are doing Lesson 5.4, which is dealing with some more special segments called the median and the altitude of a triangle. So let's jump into our key points and let's get going. All right, so the first thing we're going to look at is the median of a triangle. So the median of a triangle is a line segment drawn from any vertex of a triangle to the midpoint of the opposite side. So for instance, on this triangle, I have a vertex right here. And then down here on the opposite side, this is going to be my midpoint. And then a line drawn in between the vertex and the midpoint of the other side, that is going to be called a median of that triangle. So basically it's splitting this side into two equal parts there. That is the median of the triangle. So now something special happens is whenever you draw all three lines of the medians, meaning you draw all three of the medians, it's going to create a point called a centroid. So effectively, if I take this and find the median and I draw a line, I take this and find the median and draw a line, it's going to create an intersection right here at the very middle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be called your centroid. And when this happens, it says the centroid of a triangle is twice as far from a given vertex than it is from the midpoint to which the median from that vertex is drawn. And what that means is I'm going to show you. Let's call this point A, let's call this point B, and let's call the middle point C. So right now the distance from the vertex to the centroid is going to be 2 times the distance than from the vertex or from the median to the centroid. And so for instance, right now if I wanted to find AC, AC is going to equal 2/3 the distance from A to B, the whole line. So I'm going to do A times B. If I wanted to find C to B, so C to B, that is going to equal 1/3 of the distance of A to B. So now if you look, it comes true on our definition here. So right now from here to the centroid is 2/3. From here to here is going to be 1/3. So that's 2 times the measure of that. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be using this on our examples here in a little bit with the centroid. Okay? The next thing we're going to look at is the altitude. So the altitude of the triangle is also normally known as the height, but it says here, the altitude is a line segment drawn from any vertex of a triangle perpendicular to the opposite side. So if you look at this example, if I go from this point and I go straight down to the other side at a 90-degree angle, that is going to be my altitude. But sometimes what you guys have to understand is sometimes the triangles are shifted to where if I actually try and go to that other side, it's not going to be a 90-degree angle. So I have to end up drawing the line to where it's going to end up making a 90-degree angle. That's why I showed this example, because if I go this way with the line, that's not going to make a 90-degree angle. But if I end up drawing and extending this line out, that's what happened here, and I draw a line going straight down, that's going to end up making a 90-degree angle. And then where all three of my altitudes meet, that is going to be called my orthocenter. So for instance, if I took this line right here and I ended up drawing a line from here to here, that wouldn't make a 90-degree angle. But if I extend my line out here and I draw my 90-degree angle, that's going to go here. If I extend this line out here, my 90-degree angle is going to be right here. And now if you look, if I extend this, if I extend this, I extend this, right there is where all three of those are going to meet. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be called your orthocenter. So when you draw all three of your altitudes where they meet, it's going to be called your orthocenter. And now for the instance of our problems here, you're only going to need to identify the altitude and the orthocenter on this. That's all you need to do. Okay? So let's jump to our examples real quick. So right now in example number 1, it wants me to name the 3 altitudes of the triangle. Again, I'm going from the vertex straight down to a 90-degree angle. So let's go ahead and look at A here. Here's my vertex. If I look at the line going straight down here, it's going straight down at a 90-degree angle. So my first one is going to be line AH. Okay, let's go from C. So right now if I go from C to D, that's not making a 90-degree angle. But if I go to C to E, if you look here, that's making a 90-degree angle. So C to E is going to be my second altitude. Now going from my last vertex, there's only one line going from that, making a 90-degree angle. So my last altitude is going to be B to F. So B to F. And now it wants me to identify the orthocenter. So where all three of those blue lines meet, right here at this point, they're meeting at point X. So the orthocenter is going to be point X in this instance. All right, so looking at example number 2. On example number 2, it says the centroid of the triangle is shown. So right now this is my centroid, so I know that all of my medians are drawn here, which means I'm going from the vertex going straight over to my midpoint there. So it says if BD is 24, so the whole thing is BD, I gotta find B to E and E to D. So right now if you look from the vertex to the centroid, I know that's 2/3 the distance. So that means in order for me to find BE, I have to do 2/3 of the whole thing, which is BD here. So right now I know what BD is, which is 24. So I'm going to do a BE is equal to 2/3 of 24, right? So right now, 3 will go into 24 8 times. And then 8 times 2 is going to end up giving you 16. So BE is going to end up being 16. And then also I showed you earlier that B to E is going to be 2 times the distance from E to D. So that means all I have to do is take half of BE in order to find E to D. So ED is going to be equal to 1/2 the distance of BE, right? So ED is going to be equal to 1/2 of BE, which is 16. Half of 16 is going to be 8. So ED is going to be equal to 8. So now 16 plus 8 is going to give you 24 the whole thing, okay? Vice versa also, if you wanted to, you could take 1/3 the distance from that to find B, 1/3 the distance from B to D to get ED as well, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, this is how you find BE and ED. Let's jump over to example number 3. All right, so looking at example number 3. So right here it says D is the centroid of ABC. If G to D is 2x minus 8 and G to C, so the whole thing is 3x plus 3, we need to solve for x. So right now we need to understand which line segment I'm looking at. So from our keynotes up top, from the midpoint to the orthocenter, that is 1/3 the distance of the whole line. So right now that means if I want both of these to be equal to each other, I have to multiply GD times 3 to make them equal to each other. So that means GC, GC is going to be equal to 3 times the measure of GD, because this is going to be 1/3 the whole thing, so I have to multiply it times 3 to make them equal. So I'm making them equal to each other. So right now I have to do 3x plus 3, and I'm going to set that equal to 3 times what GD is, which is 2x minus 8. I'm going to distribute by 3, so I should get 3x plus 3 equals 6x minus 24. I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides, which is going to give me 3x. I'm going to add 24 on both sides, which is going to give me 27. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides, which is going to end up giving me 9. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I set up my equation and I made them equal to each other because GC is the whole line, GD is 1/3 of that, so I had to multiply it times 3 to make them equal, okay? And then I solved for that to give me 9 here, okay? All right, guys, so again, in the bottom right-hand corner of your paper, again, you have your challenge question. This is, again, a gauge to see if you are ready to move on with your skill check. So if you end up doing this one and you understand it fully, then you can go ahead and move on to your skill check. If you're needing help with this, call me over. I'll give you a couple examples and help you out. Other than that, good luck on your skill check.